Hello guys, it's me Neil with Mason Auto Sales LLC in Cortland, Ohio, working on my 2001 Chevy Silverado 8100. It's got the 8.1 liter V8 8100. Today the video is about the radiator, plastic part of the radiator leaked antifreeze, and if you guys could see here, right in there, underneath, on top of this bolt, if you guys could see it or not, sorry about this. Alright guys, the radiator leaked fluid. You could see the area on top of that bolt, and it was a hair, like about, I want to say, half an inch crack. So I have researched and read about JB Weld. What I wanted to do is actually fix it without taking the radiator out. So what I did is I took the housing out, the housing fan, and then took this box here, put it back, and then took the battery out, and then took this one here, the hose, clamped it, and pulled it back so it won't leak as much antifreeze. So it's a common sense approach. The radiator is in the car, so you have to have as much space as possible for it to work, and you're going to do it very slowly. You use JB Weld. I'll show you guys what I used. And you put a small, of course you got to clean the area with alcohol. Make sure it's clean, there's no antifreeze on it, no liquid on it, no whatsoever. So that's how we go. We put the first layer of JB Weld, very thin, and then let it dry, and then, which is about 5-10 minutes, then you put another one. I actually use the entire tube, so I would say there's close to a 1/4 inch of JB Weld in there. When I was done, I realized when I turned the car on, ran the engine, there was a hair pinhole size crack that I didn't get to cover it with JB Weld. So again, I took everything apart and dried it and covered it. So, but this is a trick here. After the JB Weld, it cured for 12 hours. I went to O'Reilly's, very great people there and very helpful. And what they told me to use is another type of glue, which you can see it's like whitish. This glue solidifies in 1 to 2 minutes, and you could actually use your fingers and spread it on top of the JB Weld. Let's go show you guys what I'm talking about. Alright guys, so I did the entire tube here, so mixed it over here with a little tray. So I done this part yesterday, finished, let it cure for 12 hours. In the morning, I ran the engine, and I probably say a small crack that I missed to cover as wide as this. So what I did is I cleaned the surface, put a little bit more JB Weld on it, and waited about 7 hours until it dried enough. Then I used, here we go. After the JB Weld, I use this. It's a clear toothpaste kind of consistency on it. I even use my fingers. I know I'm horrible with that stuff, but it comes off if you dry it right away, if you wipe your fingers. And I used my finger, got in there, and did the entire area where the crack was and the new crack was, and over the JB Weld, smooth everything around it. I used, I would say, 5 coats, which is very thin coats. You use your fingers. But this here, it dries within 2 minutes, and you could use, put another layer, wait 2 minutes, put another layer. So I probably say I did 4 layers, and it really sealed the entire area that I covered with JB Weld. Here, the thing I was surprised about this seal all, it's got a high temperature grade. So, the radiator is gonna get hot, but it will withstand the see here, right here. temperature. Sub-zero and high temperature. So first of all, so this covers the JB weld, so it's not going to be in direct contact with the coolant, radiator coolant. So it worked. I just ran the truck for about 15 minutes, put the heat full blast until it got warm, and as we can see here, of course, keep my fingers crossed, you never know what happens. Here you go. See the area? It's dry, it's warm, nothing is leaking. Nothing is leaking. And in addition to this JB Weld and the Seal glue, this is what I used. I did my research about the best radiator leak. I bought these two, and this is very critical. I did not use the entire bottle. I used a third of it. So on top of the JB Weld and the Seal from the outside, I used this coolant, this bars leaks one step. I used a third of this bottle. You got to shake it very good. It's got copper consistency, look, color to it. But I used a little bit. So together, the glues from the outside and this from the inside, this will cover and seal everything from the inside, that crack, and this here from the outside. My plan is this. After reading and researching, watching a lot of YouTube videos and feedback, I did not top the radiator with coolant. What I did is I filled it up with water. And the reason I filled it up with water is because I'm going to drive it for a couple of days and then come back here and drain the entire the radiator. Get rid of whatever excess of this sealant we have inside. I'm going to fill it with water and then drive it for 2 more days and flush it again to get rid of as much as I have in the engine block and radiator from this. Once you could tell when you drain the coolant, you could tell if there's any remnants of this or any little bit left over. When the coolant comes out clear, I will stop, and then I will fill it up with O'Reilly's antifreeze 50/50 coolant. So we did just rerun here. I did this. I cleaned the surface, identify where the crack is. I used JB Weld, put about 5 layers, the entire tube, and once done, I discovered there's a small crack I didn't get to. I used the rest of it here. So there was 5 layers of this. Once it dried for 12 hours, I used this to seal the entire area on top of JB Weld. This cures in minutes. So I put about 4 coats of this, very thin coats. You could use, I use my fingers, so I don't care. So once this is done, then I use this here, a third of the bottle. I know it looks empty, but I've used it before on other cars. I use a third of this, shook it very good, and put it directly into the radiator. And I cover it from the inside, the outside, and then once you do this, you drive the car for a couple of days, come back, drain the radiator, get rid of whatever excess you have in there, drive it for 2 more days, then put water in there and drain it again. Then you flush the whole thing. There's no more sealant in the block, in the engine block and radiator, and that's it. Then after that, you just fill it up with O'Reilly's 2020 or 50/50 coolant, and then that's it. That's about it. So I know it's probably a different strategy, but I've kind of took the best from all the videos I watched, and it's just common sense. A lot of work, mechanical work, is about common sense. So I attacked this from inside and the outside. Did it save me money? Yes, if you don't have enough money, I mean, you're short, you know how that goes. We all struggle sometimes. This radiator will run me between $150 to $250, and it will probably be an entire day work, because the 2581 liter 8.1 liter V8, it has 3 connectors on this side and 5 connectors on that side. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of lines, cooling lines going into it. So this worked. If I'm gonna probably get another review, follow-up review, to see how good it lasted. So I will keep you guys posted if this strategy worked. If you have any questions, you could reach out and let me know, and I'll try to help you as much as. By no means I'm not a mechanic, but it's common sense. I just watched a lot of videos, took the best from everybody, and applied it to my case here. So other than that, thank you for watching. I hope this video helps in any way, shape, or form, and have a blessed day. Take care.